The world is coming to an end. How do I know this about the world, you ask? The signs of the apocalypse are clear, and the evidence is undeniable, judging by a single, reality-bending, hell-freezing event that has transpired in our little fantasy league during Week 2. The commish has lost to auto-pick.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria!
Team Auto-Pick managed to eke out a win against my team's equally pathetic Week 2 performance by 1.74 points. Not only that, but the game was decided in the last seconds of Monday Night Football by a Marcus Colston reception. This is obviously all the result of a deal made between Surly and Satan, which will, in all probability, trigger the end of our existence.
I love when you get all biblical, Satan. You know exactly how to turn my crank.
Not only did we both suck horribly in Week 2, but both teams were competing for the lost team of the week. And with that in mind, adding to this apocalyptic, bizarre world we're now living in, Team Commish will sadly wear the mantle of lost team of the week during Week 3 after this shameful defeat. Lost doesn't even begin to describe my team in Week 2.
Guys, where are we?
I just don't know anymore, Charlie. I just don't know. So now, as I'm taking up the charge of the lost team of the week, I'm going to take a page of last week's lost team of the week and their rebuttal. I'd like to give kudos, sports ballers, to the man who was good enough this week to figure out a way to defeat me, whose strategy was impeccable and had the mental fortitude to bring down a top contender in Sports Ball the League. Brad Funston, Yahoo's fantasy football specialist in charge of overseeing the weekly projected point calculations for all players. As for AutoPick's manager and team, that he didn't care enough to actually draft, but yet suddenly cares so much about. Be glad you caught me on a week where Neil the Hack Brackers was my high scorer. And my number one draft pick, Chris Johnson, spent more time playing with his than actually scoring his 16 projected points. So, to AutoPicks manager Matt Surly, this one's for you. You know what? All this camera jumping is giving me a headache. Time to move on as I take solace in the belief that Week 2 was just a fluke bump in the road on my way to the playoffs. So onward to Week 3 as I take aim at Tyler's Cream Dream Supreme. That didn't sound right. Tyler, I plan on using your devastating defeat this upcoming weekend as my stepping stone back on track to the playoffs. Once again, though, I face a team coming off a loss to Josh's Girly Elves, which normally would have been hilarious, but didn't turn out so well for me last week. So hopefully this time around in Week 3, the Smack Talk Karma Police won't feel fit to screw me all over again.
News of the day, brought to you by Gillette Blade.
Congrats to Melissa Camp for defeating her husband Brian, I change my team name every other day, Camp, in the Marital Smackdown last week. I think I see a seasonal rivalry game brewing there. Speaking of Melissa C, two of our remaining undefeated teams go head-to-head this week. Kick-Ass versus How About Them TDs. Two Melissas enter, one Melissa leave. In hard luck news, Team Main Event for the second week in a row was defeated in his game after leading all the way up to the second half of the Monday Night Football game. To give you some inspiration, Brent, here's the Never Give Up Kitty. And congrats to Evil Guidi, the high scorer of Week 2 with a monster 143 points. Good job. Now that's all for this week's update. Don't bother checking your lineups because we're all going to be sucked into a fiery abyss of torment and doom by the weekend anyways. Thanks, Surly.
Hey, you better get packing, bitch. We have to go. We're running out of time.